for a moment. And I guess it broke the stream. It will be in 2 parts. It's live again. I need to do something about that in the future. I believe there are tools for that. Anyway, this is leaderboard. And this is PDF. We'll try to approach this problem. Router placement. We need to put routers. How do you say routers?
I'll say router.
Routers. To maximize coverage and minimize cost. There are walls, targets, and void. We need to reach every dot with a router signal, and hash is a wall. It's a router. Each router covers a square area of at most that many cells. R is given or what? There should be no wall between them, and then they will cover. So here S will cover that area. Plus we need to put cables called backbone to so that routers would have access to the internet. I believe it means we need to create a tree out of cables, put routers in some cells of that tree, and then maximize the coverage. You have B, money. Single router has some cost, backbone has some cost. Okay, R is very small, radius of router range. Price of connecting one cell to the backbone. For sure, in different tests, there will be different ratios of prices. Maximum budget and coordinates of that initial place with the internet. This is input. The output is this format, and it will represent this. I masz testy, tak?
Czy mam testy?
A, nie mamy testów. Czy mamy? Gdzie są testy do pobrania?
To byście pisali.
Are the final round problems supposed to be harder than the qualification round ones? Usually it's true. Can I join your team? I think I have a full team already. Let's move this to hash practice. Charleston Road, let's go higher, Opera, Rue de Londres. Those will usually be some shapes if you scroll it away. There is any hole here? Tests aren't fully random. Why can't I scroll even further up? Let's go higher. Maybe I can open them in Notepad. No. I need some editor where I can decrease the font much further. Umiesz u siebie to oddalić?
Nie.
Well, it isn't here, I guess, that important to analyze the drawings now, but it will be after I have some solution, then I want to see what this solution does. And let's understand input format. What do we have? Radius, this is radius 10, price of cable, price of one router. Here cable is very cheap, router is 100, and budget is something. In this test, radius is similar, 100 and budget. Here cable is more expensive and radius is small. So routers will be very expensive, especially with small radius. And here it's more standard. Dobra, to co? To przygotuj się, że jak masz plik wyjściowy i pewnie też wejściowy, to jakoś to zwizualizuj.
Okej.
No tak może być ASCII. No, najlepiej, żeby to, co wypisuję, było jakąś funkcją, żebym w razie potrzeby skopiował już sobie do mojego kodu i potem mógł odpalić. Być może we wzorcówce będę chciał wypisywać, bo na przykład znajdę 5 różnych form, chcę porównać je sobie oczami. Czyli napisz program, który oddzielnie weźmie input i output i wypisze coś, ale niech to będzie taka funkcja, co ja potem będę mógł sobie jakoś w kodzie używać.
Nie rozumiem. Masz input.
No.
Chcesz dostać na przykład obrazek.
Znaczy, nie, input jest już jako obrazek.
Ale okej, masz input z jakimiś dodatkowymi rzeczami.
No.
I chcesz obrazek tego, na przykład gdzie są te twoje kabelki.
Tak.
I gdzie są twoje routerki.
Mhm.
Okej.
Ale też fajnie by było, żeby to była funkcja, która dostaje to jako argumenty tej funkcji. Czyli niech dostanie input jako... No nie wiem. Może input nie. Ale niech output dostanie jako vektor par, czy coś tam. Takie rzeczy. Vektor par kabelki, pozycję kabelków. No, i żeby sobie była w stanie... Żebym kiedyś mógł w stanie to odpalić we wzorcówce.
Ale jeżeli będę klepował jakąś wizualizację, to klepować w Pythonie.
Nawet jeśli masz pisać w ASCII? Co ty w Pythonie zwizualizujesz? Co to jest lepsze niż ASCII?
Kolorki ASCII.
To wciąż ASCII.
Kolorki ASCII. Ale da się jakoś wpisywać... A po co ci do twojego kodu.
No, to nie wiem, może się przydać. Co? We are talking about visualization and strategy. For sure we need, once we have some output, we need visualization of that output. That will be either made in Python, and maybe that would create some PNG file or whatever, or just ASCII, like this. Can you do a Polish stream? Maybe eventually. What's the ideal number of people in a team? 4. Sure, it's 4. In hashcode, it's very important to have multiple people. Also, is YouTube stream that? It was a case recently where chat didn't work for so long. One test YouTube. Does C++ have a bitmap library? I don't know. Okay. YouTube chat doesn't work. I need to do something about that. Stream finished. It thinks that the stream ended. Fresh. To test YouTube. Okay, now it works. So sorry for a moment, maybe not a moment, but for some time I didn't see YouTube chat. I guess from the break of the stream. Who is the other guy? I wrote in Codeforces. Carol. Also, please, questions related to the stream, not to general programming. I co, w Pythonie będziesz klepał coś? No, znaczy i tak musisz wczytać to wejście w Pythonie, żeby jakieś statystyki porobić, no bo tu już pewnie coś może być przydatne. Nie. Trudno powiedzieć. No pomyśl. Ja napiszę coś.
Wydaje mi się, że to, co nie byłoby sensowne, to właśnie tak jak wygląda w tej treści, tak, że sobie jakby dodatkowo masz taką warstwę na przykład zielonego, jeżeli ty w zasięgu do tego chcesz.
Umiesz zrobić tak, żeby dało się interaktować z tym rysunkiem? Że klikniesz sobie gdzieś i pokaże ci, czy to wtedy da nowe pola, czy coś?
Gdybym ja był taki zajebisty z programowania, to bym umiał robić takie rzeczy. Nie no, polski to taki super. To się byłoby zajebiste, ale
Przydałoby się chociaż, żeby móc wpisać z palca jakieś pole 50,60 i wtedy zrobi nowy rysunek z tym samym, tylko zaznaczy jeszcze to, co jest wokół 50,60 w zasięgu. No pomyśl, czy się da.
no zobacz.
Hello from Seattle. Hello Seattle. How many questions in hashcode? Hashcode is just about a single problem. You can go to, if you want to participate, for sure you should go to hashcode website and read about that. There is a lot of information here and some FAQ. What? Height, width, radius. Then cable cost. Instead of using PB and PR, for me cable cost will be more meaningful. And router cost. Budget will be P. There are also coordinates of the starting internet point. In your code, what is any? Is that a C++ thing? Don't worry about that. It's very ugly templates. You shouldn't be able to understand them. If you understand them, that's not good. That's strange. Okay, I've read the input. My teammate is implementing some visualization of output. Any tips to optimize code? Really, questions about this stream, not about other stuff. What can I first do? I want to create some tree growing out of paint. If this is cell with initially the internet, I will put cables maybe in first like this, and maybe also growing here. This will be more complicated, so that I could place a lot of routers, maybe at the endpoints. But first I will just create those two lines and put routers on them. What do I print? And the number of cells connected to the backbone, including initial cell. Cables and routers. First, iterate through the whole grid. Maybe not. I will use a cell row, comma, start.second. It will be vertical line passing through the initial internet point. Then horizontally as well. This should be uppercase. That would print the output, but for now I don't have any routers and I want to create some of them here. I will need to maintain within the budget, but for now let's not worry about that. Small steps are good, especially if you can submit. During a contest I will submit every moment I can. If I have something new and working, I will submit to make sure it does work. So in a moment I will need a checker because I cannot submit. Who is your teammate? I already answered. It's Carol. I said that in Codeforces blog. He has a Codeforces account. Maybe cables and routers will be global. I will create add cable. Cables in place back call. Similarly, there will be add router. Cost. There will be some total cost. Cable cost. Router cost. If start is equal row call, continue, return. The initial starting cell already has the internet. I don't want to repeat that. It's actually forbidden. It doesn't cost me extra. Here it will just be add cable. Row cell.second. Add cable. And some of those cells should be routers. Reasonable approach, only square root of budget can be used for this step, otherwise risking not be able to populate the tree. You're talking about those vertical and horizontal line, or what? Make per. Let's see if it prints anything. Do we have any small test? We don't. It would be nice to have a small sample test. Out. I have this. Kiedy będziesz coś miał?
Spokojnie.
Tak 10 minut? 20?
Powiedz 15 minut.
Half of the code is not visible due to your video. Oh. Here you go. Now it should be better. Yeah, there is a link. Indeed, you can open the problem yourself and read it.
Internet się zesrał.
Co?
Internet mi się zesrał.
Mi działa.
Kurwa.
Those are cables, and now Wi-Fi, let's say when I put a router, it will cover R and R cells. 0. Previous router is mine, let's say minus 1005. If this cell is of that type, so a dot, I think those are good cells to put a router there, and previous router plus 2 times R is smaller than this. Then add router. Okay, that should put routers with distances 2R from each other. Previous, actually 0 will be fine, I don't need a router immediately. Of start first call, this router is called. I hope now at distances around 2R from each other I will have routers. And let's print. Where's my solution? Let's print to error output cost out of budget B. Pro on test, print to def null. I have some small cost for each thing. For sure in my code I need to compute the coverage of routers. So I will do this now. Covered. I guess the score will be just the number of cells that are covered. Oh, here. I get plus 1000 for covering, and then the money left matters as well. I believe this means ties are decided by budget, but first I need to maximize the number of cells covered. Did you create test cases? No, I didn't. What is CERR? If you don't understand something, you can Google that in C++. This prints to error output, other kind of output. When I add a router, I will iterate over nearby cells. Maybe in each of directions. Let's do it first slow.
Wstawiłem obrazek do doka.
Jak to zrobiłeś?
Pisałem koksem.
Który to test? To weź wstaw 4 i je nazwij.
Sporo.
We have visualization of one test already. Here I will iterate over nearby cells. And if this cell, if it's inside and the type of it is a dot, then do something. I need a function inside of row col. It will just compare with height and width. I need to check if somewhere between them there is a wall. If wall, then say awk is false. Later I should speed this up. If okay, then I created covert. Here I will add and not covered yet. Okay, then covert R2C2 is true. Plus plus count covert. Count all. Count dots. I keep using lowercase h and w. I should have named it lowercase. Out of 60,000 dots, I cover around 7,000 of them. That's a lot already. This is budget. This is coverage. Coverage budget. Nope. If I have so much money left, then it's time to put more cables. Well, I already have this. My solution, I will mark my solution in black. Right now my solution is put those two lines, and every 2R put a router. Like this. Now I will add maybe just such pink lines. This is responsible for a vertical line at width start second. Instead, I will say this for column vertical lines. Column is start second, while column minus, let's say that those gaps will be 5 times r. Later I will try to make it more dense, but every 5r I want a vertical line. Minus gap. Minus equal gap. Well, col is still lower than width. If I change start second to call, it will just be vertical line at any position. With routers with distance every 2r. Okay, and then second is horizontal lines. After a few hours I want to have something much smarter, but I will be fine with this for now, after like an hour. This should already beat Teams at the bottom of the leaderboard. Previous router. Usunąłeś zdjęcie.
Tak, przesamowe.
Not sure. They give you hours to do this. The contest lasts, elimination round is 4 hours. The final round, I don't know.
I to jest na czerwono jest
startowe.
Gdzieś jest taka kropka i ją kiepsko widać.
Czy zawsze jest na samym środku?
Nie, chyba nie.
Gdzie jest nie na środku?
Na pierwszym?
Zaznacz tę kropkę jakoś mocniej.
Nie da się, no to jest jeden cel.
No tak, ale zaznacz 9 kropek i będę wiedział, że środkowa z nich to ta.
Dobra. Okay.
Does Twitch store only broadcast from the past week? I don't know, I guess so. On YouTube you can watch it later. 4 hours for how many problems? So there is just one problem. Like here, this is one problem, but you can't solve it in an hour optimal. You cannot solve it in 5 hours optimal. Okay, what about now? Budget is slightly exceeded in most tests. If I do this, then z większą czerwoną kropeczką. No git, teraz rzeczywiście lepiej widać. I wciąż uważam, że zawsze jest na środku.
Może.
Polish sounds so similar to Russian. Yes, because those are similar languages. You talk with your brother and can you translate what you say? Most of the time here I'm talking in English. No to teraz outpucik.
Ale to w jakiej formie jest odpustik?
No to przeczytałeś treść?
Lol, nie. Ale no, już spokojnie.
Outpucik to są po prostu pary współrzędnych jakieś. Liczba kabli i potem współrzędne kabli, liczba routerów i współrzędne routerów.
Okay.
Taki najprostszy możliwy. Tylko po prostu, no, z 2 plików będziesz musiał czytać. I will put this as a function, try some gaps, try gap, and we'll do binary search. Try gap of gap, and there is some cost. If cost is too big, I need higher gap. Low is gap plus 1, or is high is gap. Yep. I will say that gap is low plus high over 2. Try gap. This will be the final one. And here I need to clear. Clear everything. Cost is 0, cables clear, routers clear. Maybe a single solution should be a struct, so it could be cleared easier. Count covered is 0, and all the cells of the grid. Covered of this cell is false. Is there anything more I should clear? High is an... What should high be? Let's say this. Okay, now budget is within the boundaries for every test, and coverage is reasonable. I need drawings to check if for sure this is correct, but I can already compare scores, assuming everything is correct. The statement defined the score as this. Count covered plus B minus cable cost times, well, I can just say cost. Maybe in Python it will be easier. Command Python not found. Okay. That's an important thing. Okay, I need an alias. Umiesz zrobić alias, żeby Python odpalał Python 3?
To powinno inaczej robić tym aliasem.
No okej. To zaraz zobaczę.
Później to...
I need some alias here for sure. I bought this PC like what, month ago? 2 months ago. The fact that Python doesn't work is very bad, but there is Python 3, that's fine. Four, 4, 5. I think it's below all the scores in the scoreboard. And does it have 9 digits? Yes. This is 48th place. But loses against anything here. But well, they had a team of 4 and they had 5 hours. So now I have those pink lines with routers here. I need a smarter tree. I need to be able to modify routers and see if something improves in that case. Can you give a rough explanation of what approach you're using? So yeah, there is some starting cell with the internet. I'm saying that cables will be vertical line here, horizontal like that, and everything regularly with some gaps between them. The size of this distance from here to here is gap. Also, it's equal to that one. I binary search how small I can make it, so that I would have enough money to put all the routers. And now for every line, if well, let's say the whole grid is, I don't know, the grid boundaries are like this. I go through every line from left to right or from top to bottom, and I try to put routers with distance 2 times r from each other, but only on cells of type dot. And those are tests. In a moment, I hope from Carol we will get visualization that will be able to show cables and routers on that. Perfectly also the coverage of routers. What is Google Hashcode? It's a competition where you solve an approximation problem. Here you place routers on some map and cables.
Daj mi jakiegoś testa.
No dobra. Który test jest najmniejszy? Pewnie ten z kwadratem. Charleston. Potrzebny będzie Google Folder jakiś. Co ja tu mogę zrobić? Jak mam ci to przesłać?
To na ile mi myśli?
Dobra.
Jak nie należy pisać hashcode?
I'm sending some output file to Carol. Send. I have too many files open. Side cables, I need that. Okay, if I want to improve anything here, instead of covered, I will count by how many routers it's covered, and then I can move routers. I can decrease the coverage by 1 for some cell. It will slow the program down, but I think that's fine. Here, no, not only not covered cell, I check. Here, +1. Coś jest źle? The answers are different, that's bad. Why is it worse? Can I use online CPP compiler in hash code? As long as you don't show your code to anybody. So what I did do wrong? Oh, count covered. If this plus plus is 0, then count covered. Now the scores should be the same. Are they? Because a moment ago coverage was too high. Now 21,811. I will not see that now. That's bad. I should have saved the previous version. Let's get back. That was previous version. Yes, it's the same. This is procpp memo boolean. This is version with just boolean values. And now the real thing. And if it's int, then I can move routers around. By the way, I can try here some different constant. -2 and -2. To 88,102, 6. It improved some tests. Co? Jej. O.
Powiedz mi sukcesję na tabletkę.
No to jest dobry początek, tylko muszę Ci wysłać pozostałe też testy. No, odróżnij na początek te void od dotów. Na wejściu są kropki i tyldy, czy coś takiego, czyli myślniki.
Jakie tyldy?
No, widziałeś wejście w ogóle?
Nie. A są?
No tak. I tylko trzeba kropki pokryć. To są wnętrza budynków. I wyślę Ci pozostałe też.
A to tak dobrze poszło, jak nie przeczytałem.
Dobrze, że dowiaduję się teraz, jak bardzo czytasz treść zadania. Pro on Charles c.out. Pro on let's go higher l.out. on Opera to o.out, r.out, zip, and I will send this zip file. Okay, I'm back. In a moment we'll get pictures for all the tests. But yeah, this is what my strategy does. It puts cables with equal spaces. Okay, I don't need to put cables outside of the drawing. It should only be some interval in on every level, because I'm wasting money for those cables outside. That's first thing. Dostałeś zipa, tak?
Nie, tak, to samo.
Tam pierwsza literka jest każdego testu. What is your teammate's background? My teammate, what is your background?
It's a very difficult question.
Is that Math Olympiad t-shirt?
Yeah, not a new one, because all ones are too small.
Did you win Math Olympiad?
Yeah.
He won Polish Math Olympiad. That's the background. Can you use machine learning? Yes, you can, but machine learning isn't the best here. If you have just one particular test and you need to do something, then randomized solutions will do better, or something greedy. What do you train your machine learning on? You can do some simulated annealing, climbing up the hill, like correcting the solution. You saw already what worked for me at the beginning of the stream with knapsack problem. Just something randomized. Okay, so first, and this is what I see immediately from a drawing, that this is what my solution does. So I will not do anything where I don't cross a building. Try gap. If grid of row call is a dot, anything is true. If not anything, continue. And the same for horizontal line. It's bad that I have such an ugly copy paste, but that's too late.
O kurwa.
It was 218, 284. The scores didn't change much. 284. Oh, actually, in the last test, the score decreased for some reason. Wstawiłeś?
Na górze powinien być.
Okay. Trzeba marginesy wywalić. Weź znajdź wywalenie marginesów z tego. This is for sure smaller test because of you see the spacing, how big pixels are. So for sure here it will be easier to optimize the solution to move things around. But on the other hand, the score for this test will matter less. The scores are here 20 million, 280 million, 110 million, this thing. So only for Opera and Let's Go Higher, the score really matters. For Opera, and Opera is a complicated test. What about Let's Go Higher? This is Let's Go Higher. That's a very big test.
No nic nie widać.
W ogóle to, co piszesz, to są takie narzędzia, które możesz mi dać, żebym ja sobie łatwiej teraz wizualizował?
Tak.
No to dawaj jakoś z instrukcją. Najlepiej załóż, że ja już mam pliki c.in, l.in i tak dalej. Są 4 pliki in. Przenazywam je sobie na pojedyncze literki, na przykład c.in. W sumie chyba powinieneś mieć to w dupie. No tak.
Mam to w dupie,
Słusznie.
ale po prostu chcesz to, co nagrywałem, żebyś mógł sobie puścić to i żeby się zrobiło obrazki.
No tak, to na wyjście, no bo będę poprawiał swoje auty, tak?
A to ty zapisz obrazki.
Co?
To ty zapisz obrazki, tak? Chcesz, żeby ci zapisał obrazki.
No tak.
Albo możesz zainstalować tam Jupitera, notebooka i...
Nie, może
Okay.
zapiszę mi .png i sobie to odpalę.
No spoko, to ten. Czyli będziesz miał tam testy będą ABCD.
No niech będzie.
Okay.
Znaczy chciałem, żeby były CLRO, tak jak z pierwszej literki, ale no cokolwiek.
Spoko, to będą CLR.
Okay. Did Google provide those tests? Yes. Organizers create some tests. And here, for sure, they took some plans or pictures and they created maps automatically out of them. Like here we see some spaceship. Is it Mateusz? No, it isn't Mateusz. Are there no time constraints for calculating the solution, or does it have to be fast? No, there are no constraints. You can run it on your machine, so whatever. Oh.
A, chuja nie działać. Wpisz o Python 3.
Co?
Python 3. Tak, okej. Import numpy.
Not found.
Okej, Ctrl-C.
Może Ctrl-D.
Pip 3. Enter. Zrób to.
Zainstalować?
Tak.
I need to install some tools so that I could run visualization written by my teammate. No mam pip 3.
Pip 3 install numpy.
Co? A, pip 3. Is this a past hashcode problem? Yes, it's a problem from finals of Google Hashcode 2017. Co jest? No dobra, działa.
Pip 3 install matplot. Matplotlib. 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 No i chuj.
One purpose of this stream is to figure out all the issues. No to mi daje stronę. Mówię, że potrzebuję stronę, która jest 404 not found. Jakiś ppi.org. No to weź zerknij. Matplotlib?
Mat, nie mat, tylko mat.
Co to mat?
Mat.
Co to mat?
Mat, kurwa, no mat.
Matrix?
Mat. Tak. Szachmat.
Chat figured this out. I see 5 people said matplotlib in the past minute. Something else?
Już to też to tyle. Powinno przeszedł ten plik.
No dobrze. What does it mean? Matplotlib. Math made sense. Mat?
Już przestań sylaby.
So why my scores decreased in one test? Maybe because I spent... No, that's impossible. So I added this. This was previously. And in Rue de Londres, my score decreased. Even though I'm saving in general. In Let's Go Higher, the score is slightly better, for example. This was supposed to check if this line doesn't have anything inside. Maybe those routers, they also covered something? But that makes some sense. Matrix plot library. Makes sense. Okay, I want to so in this drawing, in a moment, I will remove all of that, everything outside of the shape. There will be no cables there. Perfectly for such a horizontal line, I should only have this small part, but that's okay. This one was an important test. Router cost is 100, cable cost is 1. So then only routers matter, really. Yeah, let's try to move routers around. Is there a link to this question? Yes, there is. From time to time somebody posts that in the chat. How to comment in Genie? Control E. Okay, here, after I'm done, for every router, I will try to slightly move it to another cell with a cable. I will try all 4 directions. What do I need for that? I need Boolean array is cable. Let's assume that cables will stay where they are. Is cable of p first, p second is true. Row is p first plus delta x of dir. If inside end is cable and the grid of that cell is a dot, then consider moving to that cell. What do I need for that? I need to remove that, add router. Okay. To w ogóle widzisz, co teraz robię? Że ta siateczka?
Tak.
No to możesz chwilę pomyśleć. Teraz jeszcze dopisuję to, żeby przesuwać te routerki potem. To pomyśl, co jeszcze mogę zachodzić tak w pół godziny. No bo ogólnie trzeba by jakieś drzewo zrobić, ale nie mam na to czasu, nie będę tu 3 godziny klepał jeszcze. To pomyśl, co można w pół godziny.
Zamyśl pizzę można.
Możemy teraz, któraś z godzin. No możemy teraz.
Okej, to ja to zamówię.
Okej.
Tylko weź tego maila, żeby zobaczyć, że to działa.
A, dobra.
Powinno być lol.py.
Dobra nazwa.
I to musi być w tym samym folderze. Co te inne i auto.
I got the visualization tool. It's called lol.py. Mogę otworzyć kod, tak?
Może.
Nie obrażasz papieża.
Czekaj. Jest tam jest dłuższa napisana.
Dobra, takie są pliki. To teraz przenazywam. Let's go higher.
A, tak, to.
Opera is o.in. Ru is r.in. Charles is c.in. I to bierze... Auty też będzie patrzyło, tak?
Tak. Tylko fajnie jakby wszystkie były właściwie jednej.
Smok. Pro on. For X in CLRO do. Echo X. No. Pro on this.in to this.out. Done. PIP 3,
Krótko 3.
lol.
Tak.
Jakieś PNG
Nie.
wytworzy?
Tak, to tworzy pęgi jakieś 5 sekund. Może trochę więcej, bo duże pęgi tworzy.
A u Ciebie ile działało?
5 sekund na małych pęgach. No, już.
Source ID 8 was not found when attempting to remove it.
Nie wiem o co chodzi, ale masz te pęgi.
Bardzo dobre nazwy. Ale z dupskiem takie mają być nazwy?
Tak, mamy myślę, że z duskiem. I teraz możesz sobie przybliżyć. I...
Mogę przybliżać. Śmiga. Well, at least now I don't have all those unnecessary cables.
No to i powiedz mi, co do kupić wizualizacji.
No chwilowo nic.
Bo to nie jest zasięg tych luterków.
No ja wiem. To, a co ty na to, żebym dorzucił do outputu trzecią listę? Też będzie postaci liczność i współrzędne. I to będą te pola, które chcę, żebyś zamalował. To będą te pokrywane.
Ale ty nie mogę sobie tego powiedzieć?
No możesz. No to powiedz.
Okay.
Tak, no powiem. Chcesz mój kod do tego, żebyś sobie przepisał łatwo?
Nie.
Are you using Mac or Git terminal? Is there only Mac or Git terminal? What was I doing here? Oh yeah, I was going to consider moving a router by one. So add the router. Type. Now type will be standard. No, real is 0. If I pass 0, it means really add this router. Trial is 1, don't push back. Removal is 2. If type is real, only then do this. And increase the cost. If real type is real or type is trial means try adding, then that. Else assert type is removal. If covert minus minus this is 0, then minus minus count covert. This is real. I'm using tables delta x and delta y for moving in 4 directions. Those are some pre-written directions. Is cable off. If this, then I can move in this direction and maybe it makes sense. Add router of p first, p second removal. Add router of row call trial. Memo covered is count covered. Count covered is better than memo covered. If I improve the score, then count covered, no, then P is row call and break. Otherwise, I need to do it back. Done, hopefully. Did that improve stuff? Yes, it did, a lot. At least in test R. Mainly in test R, but it's... oh, it isn't a big test. .287, well, it improved L. It should be less regular now, but that's not a lot. I need to keep doing that. So let's try that 10 times or 50 times. Times I go through all the routers and I try to move them by one in every direction. If that improves the score, I leave them at this new place. I guess this is less regular. Will it be better if I change those now? +3, +3. It would be better if you first explain on the whiteboard. What does it mean first? Well, I'm doing a practice round of hash code, and I'm stringing that as an extra. And I want to, well, remember how I should do it, and that's it. It's not that this is a lecture exactly how you should do it. There is also on my main YouTube channel, there is, I think, Google Hashcode 2018 recap or something like that. You can watch it later. I think I improved scores now. Oh no, I don't do this. I run lol.py first. So putting routers with bigger distance from each other, it helped. I can also create new cables, actually. Okay, which tests are important? O is important. L is important. So this one and O. But O is very specific. Oh. What score do I have now? I don't think it changed a lot. Let's consider adding new cables. When I move by 1, I increase this. I remove this condition that there is cable. So if this is better, if not is cable of row call, add cable. This cable of row call is true. And hopefully that will not exceed the budget. $219, and the budget is exactly covered. Is that coincidence? Add cable. Huh. Strange. Oh, that was coverage, not the budget. Sorry. So C is roughly optimally done. I'm here just fighting for single points. Oh, cool. This is the first time when I did this optimally. I covered everything. Can anyone here explain what is the question and what is he doing? This is problem from Google Hashcode Finals 2017, and yeah, I'm solving it. I need to put cables and routers in such a drawing. Maybe let's remove all those unnecessary cables on the side. This is L, but there was also, yeah, now we see that routers are moving. From here something moved to that position. Maybe it will be better if I don't iterate every time like with directions from 0 to 3, but in random order. It was 287 and now 287. So didn't change a lot. Improved slightly. R improved a lot. It would be nice to make functions faster now. Will it help if I spend four times more time? Over the budget on last two, am I? Yes, I am. Oh, that's a good observation. So I cannot add that many cables. I have a lot of unnecessary cables lying around. But yeah, I need to do something about that. Add that to description. People are asking again and again. Maybe. At least, let's say on Twitch, I think it's I'm solving this problem from hash code 2017. Oh, 160, that's my record. I had in Twitch there are like badges or achievements, and I remember that my first stream or second one, it had 99 viewers and there is an achievement for 100, and I never reached that 100. In your title write problem link below. Okay, good advice. Link below. I think you missed the rate from 198 PHP scripters. Maybe. Ty tam coś robisz?
No, klepię to, tylko...
Ale to jakieś łatwe.
No nie jest łatwe, no... Muszę zrobić, żeby ten kolor był bardziej zielony, a nie zielony, tak?
Rozumiem.
Więc to wszystko jest takie, wiesz, to jest łatwe, ale trochę zajmuje czasem.
Rozumiem.
I jeszcze muszę te ścianki. Tylko ścianki blokują, tak?
Tak. So, okay, we exceed the budget, that's bad. Well, for starters, is cable or cost plus cable cost doesn't exceed B. budget 296. I expect in 2 last tests to see the full budget being used. That's first thing. Then in R and O, is it true that cable cost is big? Not necessarily. O, R, not really. L is running. They are arguing over equal, 3 equal. Budget. Yeah, now I'm using the whole budget. Let's see how the visualization for that will look like. And while we wait, I will take a moment to advertise my main channel on YouTube. youtube.com/Errichto. In particular, an hour before this stream, I dropped this Amazon coding interview question, merged to sorted lists. So go check that out after the stream. Okay, l.png. What? Some routers are very close to each other. What about this? When I place routers, because I do that for vertical and horizontal lines. Actually, what if I don't put any vertical lines? Just one big one, okay? Then only vertical lines. Maybe that's better. This after single thing break. Because, oh, I cannot open now. Okay. Because for vertical and for horizontal separately, I place routers in some distance from each other. Some routers will be close to each other. And that's terrible. Well, here anyway we have the same score, but we have 288. That's a small improvement. Then it was 34, it is 35. It is slightly better. The last score is much better. I can change this back to 2R. Buy cheap C4 explosives and optimize by wall detonation. It would make the problem harder and more interesting. Whoa, that's trippy. Okay, we have a single vertical line. Why? Jaki jest zielone to 1 piksel? Jeden router to 1 piksel, czy nie?
Nie, to duży jest. To jest 9.
Okay.
Ale zaraz zmienię. Spokojnie.
In L, what is R? Okay, R is only 5. They seem to be very close to each other. What coverage do I have? Oh, almost everything. So I just used too much money. Only in O I am far away from the optimal score, so I need to optimize that one first of all. So let's try to find O. Is this O? Yes. Well, first, back to this. I hope your cables go through the wall. Yes, they do. Is it possible to get better time complexity for merging two sorted lists? Better than linear? No. I should run my solution just on O. How much I can still gain? Well, here it will be at most, it will be epsilon. There is 1000 missing, no, 700 missing. One person in a team should for sure compute optimal possible score for every test. Then we see how much we can still gain. In R also, they have a lot more to cover, but here it's 60,000 for O, 30,000 for R, and this will be times 1000 in score. Here a few thousand, here already done. So how much I can still gain for the in total? 30 plus 60, let's say 100,000, 100 million. Okay, that makes sense. Scores improved a lot. So I'm only interested in R and O. This is R. Okay, R is special. I think that R should be done by hand. I will also remove cables from left and right side. That will help a little bit. This is R, this is O. O is bigger, but still quite regular. If it's completely symmetrical, then what I could do is focus on one side and then, flip the drawing. Okay, where do I have? Can I do fewer repetitions and will the score be similar? Because I don't want to wait so much. Time complexity doesn't matter in hash code. Yes, it doesn't. Do you know how they compute the score? Yes, it's written in the statement. Scores didn't change, and I can wait less time. They didn't change at all.
This one.
Okay. Yeah, that's now very fast, but R is messed up a lot. So in R, improving those, moving to neighbors helps a lot. Like from this score to 40 something. Yeah, 414.
Użyj nowego lolpy.
No zaraz użyję. Pizzę zamawiam. This is R, and this one, in this one, it helps a lot to move routers around. I can believe that. Okay, there is new tool from Carol. Wysłałeś mi na maila? O, teraz widzę.
To może być inne lolpy. A nie, jest ok. Jakie są dobre pizze?
Dobre pizze. Ojej. Biesiadowo jest spoko.
No jest spoko.
Możesz zapukać do Karoliny i spytać ją też o zdanie. O, widać. We got now new visualization tool where we see the coverage, and this will be an important test. We need to improve that. For example, one router was moved from here, from the corner, to something in the middle. Now we see something stupid happening here. This router moved down and then up. Visualization is not only to get new ideas, but also to check if you're doing something stupidly. And from drawing, I guess I get that I will now remove those unnecessary horizontal cables. Let's see. O. O is as I would expect. I don't think we can do much more here. I think R is more optimizable. rdubsco.png. Yeah, that's a name. Horizontal lines. There is first one vertical line. Where is add cable? Here. Add cable, add cable. No, first, will this be better? Two 888 414 140. Well, 414 and 140. Those are important values. No, it's worse. So this, I think, routers could move more. Makes some sense. Okay. Don't make the whole line. Find the first dot and the last dot. I could do it here. First dot is W minus 1. This will be minimum of positions of dot. This dot is 0. Actually, I need n over at least w over 2 because this is the position, not w over 2. I need position of the starting internet because this is position of that vertical line. Last dot and call. So at least here I will do start dot second. And last dot is start dot second. Previous router is first dot minus R. From first dot to last dot. Zbiesiadowa zamawiasz? Score decreased hugely in C. Okay, I messed up, and now visualization will help me to figure out the mistake. So I thought that I'm only removing cables at the beginning and at the end. I cannot read in the task that you have only to go only vertical and horizontal with the cables. I don't have to. Well, that's suspicious. I think I see a mistake. I don't put cables to the right at all. But imagine how hard it would be to figure out if you didn't have visualization. But here at the bottom we see some stuff on the right, because I guess that I would guess that this drawing isn't perfectly symmetrical. Okay. Last dot isn't correct. Last dot is max of last dot. Why? Submit, yeah. How are you making the visualization happen?
It's magic.
Magic. Well, there is this program. My teammate wrote this, and it draws something. You have 4-person teams during the Google HashCode, and likely around 2 people will implement a solution together. 1 person would, at least in the first 2 hours, handle visualization, and 1 person would just analyze tests and think about ideas. It will be something like that, where I would, maybe at the beginning it would be nice to divide, okay, I will think about improving the answer and moving routers around. You implement those functions, add cable, add router, remove router. Or you handle cables, I handle routers once the 3-4 cables is done. I suspect that perfectly here we should place routers independently from cables. We should think where it's optimal to place routers and then combine that optimally in a tree. But I don't have time today to spend 5 hours on that. I just wanted to spend around 2 hours. Okay, where is mistake? In horizontal lines. Oh, break. I don't need break. After the first dot, I made a break. Again, what scores did I have? 414 and 140. Like a minimum spanning tree, exactly. Okay, these are better scores. Where can we get previous year problems to practice? I would start by searching on their website. Link is below the video. What software are you using for visualizing, please? Something in Python. I see here matplotlib, NumPy, and that's it. I can upload that if there is nothing wrong with that. Can I upload the visualization later?
Yeah.
Yeah, I will.
Maybe you want to change some names, but yeah.
I don't want. Sransha. To żeś nazwał. I will upload this later along with my code. Okay, perfectly here. Like, we shouldn't have those horizontal lines. They're stupid. It's better to remove all of that and just add some verticals on the left. Okay. Everything seems fine. What are the current scores? What is the current total score? 509. Is that enough to get over anybody? Not yet. The best people did is 548. IMTech won that year. Past glory is team with Gennady Koretkiewicz. IMTech is a high-frequency trading company in Moscow. I had an internship there once. They are very good at optimization problems. So I'm very limited right now with my cable arrangements. Plus, let's think, do I use the whole budget? Where is still place to improve? 300 missing here, almost 20,000 and 40,000. For sure, R and O. Let's find R and O and think about them. This is O. And this is R. Do we use the whole budget? Yes and yes. It's good for sure to put a router here. If you have 4 people in a team, then you can go through such a test and do it by hand, or at least roughly by hand mark some cells, say initially routers should be there, and then improve that. In particular, this part, this small room, I don't need 5 routers. 2 would be enough to cover almost anything, maybe 3 or 4. Here, I should lift all those 4 up and then remove this one. So you won't last 2 minutes in a job. Python is a better language. Python is future. Do you find that Python not having an ordered map is limiting? Yes. Zamawiasz pizzę?
No bym chciała zamówić.
No to czemu nie zamawiasz?
Bo nie wiem jaką.
No to spytaj.
Errichto, jaką pizzę zamówić?
Nie wiem, jakoś z mięsa?
Okay.
No wyślij link na doku. Dawaj linka, to wybiorę.
W sensie do...
No,
szukania, tak?
no tak.
Okay. Okay, jest.
Okay. When I binary search, what happens if I here say if cost is greater than this times 0.99? So what if I try to use 99% of the budget? Will this help me? Because then I can do later, I can do more here later. JavaScript is usable for this kind of problems. Well, everybody in the top uses C++. It's most efficient and convenient. Dodałeś?
Ty, na górze.
Mhm. Co to jest? Kebab? Pizza, kebab na placku. Co to za dziwna kombinacja słów? if you don't know what I'm doing now, I'm choosing a pizza. Jest dziubek barbecue. Jakieś propozycje? Na coś mógłbym spojrzeć? Nie chcę ostrego.
Nie chcesz ostrego. Mówiła, że to jest bez oliwek, tak?
Tak, bez oliwek. Jeszcze jest pizza super biesiada specjalnej zakładu. I no nie, no super biesiada też brzmi spoko. Z serem góralskim i żurawinu.
To w sumie jakby ja nie no jakby ja chcę żeby było jakieś mięsko i nie wiem, skoro ma niby siostra, to wyjebane.
No to pierwsze, co proponowałem?
Bez pieczarek. W sensie, że dziubek barbecue?
No może być.
No okej. To co mamy? Dużą, co nie?
Tak.
Sos czosnkowy na przykład?
No.
Okay.
Spytasz Karolinę, czy jej pasuje, czy ona nie chciała w ogóle?
Chciałem.
To weź ją spytaj.
Ser, boczek.
W ogóle ktoś napisał: When you speak Polish, I get reminded of my CSGO days. Rushby. Those were Suka times. Yes, Polish and Russian are similar languages. I think everybody noticed already. What was I doing? Yeah, I wanted to get this score. I changed something and things were the same. Did I even compile? Why is everything the same? I changed it here. What if I do this? Maybe changing budget by so little doesn't matter. And thanks to the fact that I will not use the whole budget here, I will later be able to put more cables. Are you still playing CSGO? I did play CSGO a few times, but it was maybe 5 hours in total. 4, 5, 6. It's worse.
Jaki to jest kod pocztowy?
01164.
To jest zjebane.
Na Facebooku ci napisałem. Why is it worse? Let's run the visualization.
Zero, jeden, ile?
1, 64.
0, 1, 1, 6, 4. Dlaczego wpisałem jakieś...
Did you try shifting the gaps? So different sizes of gaps would be nice. I'm still binary searching over how frequently I can put everything. Well, again, R and O are important tests, so let's focus on them. O and R.
Kurwa mać!
I can get random shifts. Who did the visualization? My teammate who sits there. Hashcode is a competition for teams of 4. And on Thursday there will be 4 of us. How many people play in a CSGO team? 5?
I never play CSGO.
Okay. Chat, how many people do we need for CSGO? So that was stupid idea. Let's remove this. 5. Okay, so 4 of us and 1 person from the chat. I think I would be very bad at any FPS games. Okay, let's decrease this because I don't do that. I don't use that anyway. It will be faster. And let's try slightly randomized gaps. First, I will try to change this into 1 or 5. The end of the competition is about trying random constants. Is it the record? 490? Yes, it's the best so far. Strange. Okay, so now it's this 2r plus 1. And then I will also try 5 here. I haven't compiled yet. Random shuffle is very important for hashcode, that's true. Okay, this is plus 5. I don't know if I've run plus 1 or not. Oh, that's much worse. Okay, let's say plus 2. It seems reasonable. But I will... What will I do? Let's try gap, everything. Okay, so this is worse. So I think R was a small test, and when I change shift by a little bit, completely different thing will happen. So maybe the final thing I will try today is those random shifts. Try gap, and here random is false. Plus, if random, then rand modulo 5, otherwise 2. Here finally true. Let's try fewer iterations later. Who are your teammates for hashcode? There is Kostka from Codeforces. Well, you will see later in the leaderboard, I guess. Just 4 people from Warsaw. Maybe let's do that. This is random seed that takes time. I just want to run it multiple times. I don't care about using that. Yeah, I can write a script. What about this? Did I mess something up? I wanted to run in parallel. Why not? Do I need this? Didn't print anything. It will be much faster if I run stuff in parallel. Something is wrong. Maybe somebody in the chat knows bash. Umiesz używać ampersandów w bashu?
Nie.
Can't I use it here? Maybe not. But then Oh, what if I just add here weight? Maybe I will get everything in 5 seconds. But I don't know if in that case that it reads from the input at all. I guess not. Well, what I can do is this. But I need to figure this out anyway in a moment. I can do this, and I don't want it in the same second. If I do that, everything will run in the same second, so the seed will be the same. This is not my goal. Maybe I will use sleep. Is there sleep or wait in Bash? There should be. It did everything but didn't close. I'm messing something up. I need to figure this out before the real thing. I don't know. Fifth time and sixth time. 4, 5, 1. I'm looking at scores for R. 4, 6, 0. Nothing too good. Put the ampersand after the inputs and outputs maybe. I tried that. It did not work. It told me syntax error. Parallel options, command arguments, list of arguments. And where does ampersand belong in that case? 457, 440. It depends a lot on shifts. What I should actually do is create an array of shifts. Pizzę zamówiłeś, tak?
Tak.
Za ile czasu będzie?
Nie wiem,
There is sleep. Okay, but I think I need this. After that, let's remove this random. Okay, I don't think I will implement that today. Am I a Naruto fan? No, I'm not. What I would do next is I would create, because those tests are small, like R and O. Maybe not very small, but especially this one, it is reasonably small. I would create a vector of positions of horizontal lines, and I would try slowly modifying this vector and to see if the score improves or not. Because I can move this line slightly up or down independently from the other lines. Something just locally will change. So I would say that the score will improve, but by a few percent that way. But in general, it should be best to just work with positions of routers. Choose how many routers you can have, so that it would be reasonably possible later to connect them, and try to move them around. That would be optimal. Not optimal, but it will be best. For run in run list, do for run and done. For run in run list, do this and done. Without semicolon? So this didn't want to work. Is this a way to go? CLRO 1, 2, 3, 4, and after wait it should finish. Google doesn't care if you do it in Python or C++. And this is a competition. Your result is important, not how you achieve it. I will figure out details of this later. Oh, yeah, I cannot even kill that now without getting ID. I guess I'm happy. I remembered a little bit how to usually do hash code. You basically need to find some solution and then keep improving it. I will upload this code today and the visualization to my GitHub repository. Jakieś jeszcze pomysły? Coś? Koniec streama?
No, chyba tak.
Are you the guy from the video of two guys dancing the Crazy Frog song? I don't think so. And I wanted to say that YouTube chat again doesn't work, but I guess it's only a few minutes. Cool. It's 9 p.m. now. So stream was 3 hours, like planned. On Thursday, there is qualification round of Google HashCode. If you want to participate, try to find a team. If you don't have friends that do programming, then maybe ask on Codeforces or any other platform, Discord, something like that. Teams must be between 2 and 3 people, and it does help to have 4 people. Maybe there should be 2 people implementing something, then 1 person for visualization and 1 for just thinking about tests, analyzing tests and thinking about ideas. And is there anything else? Yeah. Subscribe to my main channel, youtube.com/Errichto. And in the next few days, I will do a few short problem-solving streams, just like right now on YouTube and Twitch. Maybe on Thursday I will record our qualification round, but without commentary in English, and we'll upload that on YouTube. Because it happened to me to get top places. Once in qualification round we were the first, and once in the finals it was 4th place. Not so far away from winning. Thanks everybody for watching, for commenting. If you are going to participate, then good luck. And now you can solve the practice problem in hashcode system to see how to submit, plus like from link in the description of Twitch, you can take this problem and try to at least read the statement to see how usually those problems look like and think what ideas you would have. What is your time schedule? On Twitch, there is schedule below the video, so use that. When I schedule some stream, I put a schedule there. See you everybody, bye bye.